Well, as you join me, I'm walking a trail down to a beach on Colvos Passage, and I've got my bottom fishing gear with me. So a couple of months ago, I posted a video of me fishing from a pier on Bainbridge Island. I didn't catch very many fish, but it proved to be just incredibly popular. I was blown away. I wasn't even going to post it really, but I'm glad I did. And at the time I said it would be the only time I would do that kind of fishing, but I think I'm going to have another go. So like I say, I'm hiking down to this beach on Colvos Passage, and I've never fished here before. I came with my wife Veronica when I was scouting out locations for fishing for sea run, cutthroat, and on the map this looked like it would be a good spot. When I got down there, it did seem a little bit sandy for sea runs, but it looked like it might be good for flounder, so that's why I'm here. If anyone has caught sea run cutthroat from this beach and you recognize it, then by all means let me know in the comments. I would be very grateful. So this is just a fantastic trail. It's a little bit steep, and so on the way back it might be a challenge. I have a 30-pound pack. Don't ask me why I bought so much stuff, but I did. So you can see there's quite a lot of debris on the trail. 2 days ago we had a massive windstorm, and this part of Kitsap County was right at the epicenter of it. I know there are lots of people who still don't have power, and on the way here there were lots of traffic lights that were disabled. I was expecting it to be worse down here than it is, but this whole area did take a huge hit. Yeah, there's one that obviously just came down. And here we are. Right. So what I'm going to use for my terminal tackle today is what's called a 2-hook flapper rig. And this is something that I got from the UK. This is like standard stuff over there for fishing from the beach for small fish. And some of the components of it I wasn't sure that I'd be able to get in the US, so I just warning. So I just got this imported from the UK from some bloke, you know, who makes them and sells them. I'm just going to try and get it uncurled here. Okay, so what this consists of, you see that, instead of a three-way swivel, on the line there are crimps that hold these two beads, and between that there's a barrel swivel, and then that leads to the hooks, and that there are two of those, and there's a clip at the end for putting your weight on, and there's a swivel at the top for attaching it to the reel line. Now, because I'm assuming there are going to be crabs around, I've modified these, so I retied the hooks and I've just put some of these floating beads on there, and those are held in place by this little rubber bobber stop. And you can order these with any size hooks you like and any type of hook, so I got just bait holder hooks in size 2, and I've crimped down the barbs, so I'm going to get those baited up. So for bait, I got some frozen squid, and I've got some herring, and I've also got some shrimp. Pretty standard stuff. I'm going to start with a little bit of herring, still a bit frozen. A couple of pieces of that. I might tip it off with just a bit of squid. Okay, we're fishing. So if you're not from around here, Colvos Passage out here runs between the Kitsap Peninsula, and over there is Vashon Island. Now Vashon Island is one of the two big islands in the Central Sound. The other one being Bainbridge Island to the north, which is where I lived for about 24 years. The difference between the two islands is that whereas Bainbridge Island is connected to the mainland by a bridge since about 1950, the only way of getting on and off Vashon Island is by ferry or boat. So in fact, even though Vashon is the bigger of the two islands, it only has about half the population of Bainbridge Island. So the strange thing about Colvos Passage, and this is something that you can amaze and delight people at dinner parties if you come out with it, is that everywhere in Puget Sound, you know, there are 2 tides a day, and with the change of tides, the current changes direction. But here, this is the only place where the current always flows north to the north. Just no matter what the state of the tide is. I don't understand why that is, but it is a fact. So that's pretty freaky. Just check my baits. Yeah, they're still on there. And those floating beads work. So in that last bottom fishing video, a couple people were interested that I was using this Daiwa BG20 reel. I didn't appreciate how iconic these things are. They last for years and they've been in production for, you know, decades. And I must say it's a fantastic reel. And I got that at Warshall's sporting goods store on, I think it was First and Madison, downtown Seattle, which was just a couple of blocks away from my office. So, you know, I used to go down there during my lunch break. I loved that place. I mean, it's been closed, I think, 25 years now. But in the time, it was everything you would imagine an outdoor outfitter should be. Just a glorious place. You go through this corridor to get there, and it had these pictures, these relief maps of all the local rivers, and it had ID maps for all the fish, and you just felt like you were back in what must have been the glory times in the 1930s and 1940s. You just don't find places like that anymore. So if anyone remembers Warshaw's sporting goods store, mention it in the comments. So we've got orcas out there. Okay, so that has been worth it. Oh, and I got a bite. Yeah, well, I had a bite just as the orcas were moving through, and it's taken the herring off the bottom hook. So there is something around. So it goes without saying, seeing those orcas so close has made my day, if not my week. So I don't really care if I catch anything or not. That was just fantastic. And right as they were passing by, I did get a bite on the rod. So yep. Okay, I was just thinking those beads might be floating the bait up a little bit too high. So what I've done is I've just changed to one of the rigs that doesn't have the beads on it. See how we do with that. Well, I've been here maybe an hour and a half and not even a sculpin yet. No crabs, nothing. I'm shocked. I know that some of the flatfish do migrate out of the sound during the winter. Same is true for the dogfish. I'd expect there to be some around. Well, I'm getting hungry. It's time for a burger. So I'm gonna reel in and cook myself some lunch. Okay, so yeah, a little bit windier than I thought it was going to be, and more difficult to cook. But yeah, I've made myself a mushroom Swiss burger for my lunch, and see how that's. Yeah, it's pretty good. And though this might look and actually smell like a cheeky little Columbia Valley Pinot Gris, it is of course apple juice, boys and girls. And some mighty fine apple juice. Cheers. Well, I've finished my lunch and I've moved down a little bit south around the point to where it looks a little bit sandier, which may mean that there might be fish down here, who knows. So not even a sculpin today. I mean, it's just not right. I think what I might do, I'm determined to show you guys some bottom fish. I know it's better in the summer, but then I'm fly fishing. So I think I'll give it another go somewhere else. I'm thinking, I know point no point, flatfish just abound there. And out of season, there aren't too many people around. So, you know, I may go up there. We'll see. I'm thinking this is probably going to be my last cast, this one, because, you know, there's nothing happening. But that's the reality of fishing. But I was Johnny on the spot for the killer whale pod, so I cannot complain. Well, that's it, folks. There's nothing doing here. I'm gonna make the big climb and then drive home. So I will see you next time.